where we will get hands-on with our resumes, with all these experts on the call, and actually get to start improving and editing our resumes. And then we'll talk about next steps. Okay, so first we're going to start with some introductions so that you all know a little more about the LIT team. You all know me, I'm kind of old news, so I won't spend time introducing myself, but we're going to start with Monica. Is she on the call? I don't see her.
She might still be joining. We can circle back.
Okay, yeah, we'll circle back. You'll hear from Monica in a bit. We will then start with Colleen. If you want to introduce yourself and your role in the LIT program.
Hey everyone, my name is Colleen. I live in Santa Barbara. Monica actually introduced me to the LIT program. We both work together at Procore. Currently, my role is a recruiting program manager, but I have about 10 years of experience in recruiting, mostly technical recruiting and kind of general at my last company. I went to UCSB. I was a sociology and political science major. As you can see, I'm pretty obsessed with dogs. Really love to read. During the pandemic, I got really into gravel biking, and I love to go hiking. And it's very nice to meet everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Colleen. I just saw, oops, how do I go back? I just saw Monica added, joined the call. Are you there, Monica?
Hey, yeah, sorry, meetings.
Oh, no, perfect timing. You're up to introduce yourself to the group. Perfect timing.
Okay. Hey everyone, Monica Alvarez. I'm a Santa Barbara local. I went to Goleta Valley and Dos Pueblos. If anyone else is a Charger, I don't know, put it in the chat or something. But yeah, I went to Cal Lutheran for my undergrad. Got my major in finance and management. I'm currently a software engineer recruiter at Box. So looking specifically for site reliability engineers. So I'm all in the tech world. If you have any questions about like coding or how to get into that, just reach out to me. That's my day every day, as well as looking at resumes and LinkedIn profiles. So spent quite a lot of time doing that. I love to travel. That's what all these pictures are, and hike as well, of course, for like typical Santa Barbara things. But yeah, I look forward to looking over your resumes and meeting all of you.
Great. Thanks, Monica. And then Paige, you're up.
Hey, everybody. So my professional experience was at Apple, as you can see in the first picture, also a major dog person. So that's my mini schnauzer, Casey. And so what I did while I was at Apple, I was in finance. I was in their internship program, financial development program, and then worked running our AirPods and accessories forecast, as well as worked on iPhone. So all things Apple. Was an amazing experience, but recently moved back to Santa Barbara, and it was pursuing a new career opportunity, and then decided I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to go into. So I'm also in a transition, and right now I'm taking classes at Santa Barbara City College. So that's been really great. Like Monica, I was born in Santa Barbara. I also went to Dos Pueblos, and after DP, I went to USC, which is that second picture there, graduated with a degree in business. And as far as like hobbies and stuff, obviously dog lover. I love to read. I like to knit. That's been a new hobby of mine. And then fun fact, I just got married here in Santa Barbara almost a year ago. It'll be a year and 2 weeks. So that's me.
Awesome. Thank you all for those introductions. So for all the students on the call, you can see how lucky you are to learn from these experts in their fields who are just willing to support you and help you in your professional development. So we are lucky to have you all in the Mission Scholars Lit team. Okay, so why this matters. We're going to go into a little bit of context here so that you know why your time tonight is worth it. So as we mentioned earlier, it's never too early to get started. I think in our first Lit panel, if anyone was here for the first generation college graduate panel, something that I believe it was Gino said is that there's a formula for everything. If you can figure out the formula and crack the code, the sky is the limit. You can do anything. So that is very true for resume writing. It's similar to math in that way. There's a formula, there's like a specific key. If you follow that, you will find success. So that's what we're here today to unlock for you. And it's how we look at it is you want to build a template of a resume and that you can use for multiple different applications and internships. So you can tailor that resume to specific positions later. But right now we're just going to make a foundational, resume that can serve a multitude of purposes. So today we're going to focus on building your foundation. And a resume is a way to tell your story. So I want you all to start thinking about what experience do you want to express and how do you want to convey that? How do you want to share that? It can be it can make the difference between getting a job or not getting a job. It's a tool for your future success, professional success. So that's what we're here to help you build. Okay, so I mentioned in my email to all of you, another way to tell your story, not just through a resume, but also introductions and, having the courage and the boldness to introduce yourself and share something that's really meaningful about you and who you are, and just owning your story and where you come from, what you believe in, what you're all about, where you're going. I think college, especially freshman year, and even for the sophomores who are on campus for the first time, there's a lot of opportunities to do that and to really talk about who you are. So we're going to go around right now, and I want each of you, if you've written something down, great, you can read it. If you just want to wing it and introduce yourself, that's great as well. To introduce yourself. So name, where you're studying, your university, your major, some of your background. So maybe if you're the first in your family to attend college, that's something you can mention, or something that makes you stand out about your background and where you're from. Maybe highlight a really meaningful, impactful experience or two, and then your career goals and what career you're hoping to enter. So, did we have a hand up? I thought I saw a hand. No. Okay. Okay, any questions before we just jump in and practice? And this is the best space to practice because it's a very safe space. We can give you feedback one-on-one in breakout sessions or after individually. But the more you practice introducing yourself, the stronger and the more automatic your introduction will become. And this will serve you well, not just making friends, but also in clubs and in professor office hours, meeting your academic counselors on campus, let alone future internships and jobs. Okay, so I'm just going to call out the first student that I see on my screen. I'll keep this up here so that you can reference it. But there's no wrong way to do this. It's just a time to practice. So let's start with Bella. You're the first one on my screen.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we can hear you now.
I was just figuring that out. Hello, my name is Isabella Garfias, a current sophomore at the University of San Diego in the honors program. I am investing my time studying business administration and marketing. I grew up with 3 siblings, so I picked up the ability to manage people rather quickly, but I continued to exercise the skill through different leadership positions in high school and continue to do so at my university. I've worked in many environments and seek to find new challenges to overcome in the workplace setting, as improving my work ethic is my #1 priority.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Yay.
Great. Have you been able to practice that, Bella, on campus yet?
Not yet. I just made it today because I saw your email. I was like, let me write something.
Good. But don't you see, yeah, you will have opportunities now that you have this. It'll become more automatic and you'll be able, it's just a way of owning your story and who you are.
Exactly. And I think it'd be really important to just like know who you're talking to beforehand and like kind of like adjusting it to see what kind of prior experiences you can pull out. So they're like, oh, I can relate to that as well. So I think it's a good conversation start.
Very true. Good point. Great. Thank you, Bella. Okay, next up we have Christian.
Hello, might be a little noisy in the background, but my name is Christian Reyes. I'm currently a sophomore in studying computer science and cognitive science at UC Berkeley. I'm currently a first generation Hispanic scholarship fund scholar. Over the summer, I was fortunate to intern at Carpe Data, a company based in Santa Barbara that specializes in data solutions surrounding insurance. And being able to work alongside senior software engineers every day grew my passion that I had as a kid surrounding computers even more. In addition, I've been following Elon Musk and Tesla, and it sparked a new interest in cognitive science and how our mind works. I plan on utilizing both degrees to research more AI in today's world, which is something that will be a big thing in the future. When I'm not coding away or at lecture, I enjoy lifting, and I recently started getting into web design.
Awesome. Good job, Christian. Seems like you've practiced this before. You probably had to with your internship this summer. Great.
Yeah, quite a few times.
Yeah, I'm sure. So now the next step will be making it sound natural and conversational, you know, when you're not reading it, when you're in a setting, but the more practice, the more you'll memorize it. So great. Thank you, Christian. Okay, next I have on my screen, Mateo.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mateo Adame. I am a first year at UC Santa Cruz, majoring in psychology. I am a first generation student, so I'm the first of 3 people to go off to college with my older sister, my older brother. During high school, I had the ability to gain a lot of leadership experience and have approximately like 4 years of leadership under my belt, which is extremely useful, especially since that has kind of sparked my interest in helping others, especially in the psychology field, and being able to study more on how I can help really underprivileged communities, like those in the Latino community, the Black community, the Asian American community, in terms of mental health and spreading awareness for it.
Awesome. Great, Mateo. I love that intro. Thanks for making it personal. Wonderful. Okay, Brianna B.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Hi, my name is Brianna Bajonero. I'm currently a freshman at UC Davis studying Japanese. At some point, I do plan on also pursuing design though. From my background, I am a first generation student, or just anyone in general who has made it past high school to a higher education in my family. In the past, I've been, well, thankfully, I've had the fortunate connections to have had jobs and internships, such as a librarian at one point, an assistant of anything, as well as a muralist. And my most recent one was working under a firm, and it's called HBA Architects, sorry. And during that time, I just kind of input data after tallying results from a survey that they did for one of the residents. For me, my interest in the field that I'm specifically pursuing is more so of translating and overall product design. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Brianna. I loved how you discussed aspects of your past roles and internships. That will definitely come in handy when you're introducing. It's impressive that you've had that diverse of a background in terms of internships and job experience. So that'll serve you well. Thank you. Okay, next up, Fernanda.
Hi, my name is Fernanda Deltoro, and I'm a first generation student and a merit scholarship recipient at USC. And I'm a sophomore studying public policy with a minor in Spanish. And within public policy, I'm currently interested in the law track. So with my experience tutoring low income and disadvantaged students in the LA area, as well as being a mentor for younger students and an older sister, it has made me realize that I strive to be in a career where I can advocate for other people. So that now that I have taken some public policy classes and had an amazing immigration class at USC, in addition to my personal experience as a Mexican immigrant, it has encouraged me to pursue a career in immigration law or immigration policy.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. That's great. I like how you connected your personal background as an older sister and how that's lent itself to becoming a mentor and your connection to immigration policy. Thanks so much, Fernanda. Okay, Brianna Lopez.
Okay, Hi, my name is Brianna Lopez. I am a Latina first generation college student at the University of Portland. I'm a nursing student who is committed to helping others. In the past, I have held leadership roles and have participated in clubs that have contributed to my passion for helping others and working with others.
Awesome, thank you. That will definitely serve you well in the nursing profession also, Brianna. And I've seen that with you too. You've worked really hard at making an impact and helping other people around you. Thank you. Okay, Maria Elena, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna wing this, you guys.
Okay.
All right. So hello, my name is Maria Elena Muscara Morales. I'm currently a freshman at USC, majoring in engineering, and I am a first generation Latina student. In the past, I have spent also a lot of time giving back to my community by volunteering, like local youth centers, at schools, by incorporating myself in board meetings or in the board. Let's see. And I hope to do the same here at USC by becoming a first generation ambassador, and then hope to somehow intertwine all my leadership skills into the engineering fields that I hope to pursue and I'm still discovering. That.
Great, awesome job. You're pretty good at winging it, I have to say. But it sounds like you have had to introduce yourself in this way before, so hopefully it'll become second nature to you. Thank you. And that first gen ambassador program sounds amazing. Keep us posted. You would be great at that. Okay, Jackie, you're up next.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Gonzalez. I am a sophomore at Sonoma State University studying economics and global studies, emphasizing on international affairs and trades. I aim to go on to become an international public relations specialist to be able to work with business development companies and through cross-cultural relationships. I am a first generation college student and come from a Mexican cultural background that influenced me to be a hard worker and always find a way to help people. Prior to Sonoma State University, I gained experience through 3 years in San Marcos Entrepreneurship Academy, learning different aspects of business through the classes that taught lessons on things like finance, taxation, business development, marketing, and sales pitches. This program allowed me to see that I could help people through the work in business and make it my career goal to be able to work in business to make a positive impact.
Wonderful. Thanks, Jackie. I like that yours is really targeted about, because I know how powerful participating in the Entrepreneurship Academy was for you. So that was your central theme. That's great. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Julissa.
Hi, my name is Julissa Ramirez, and I'm a first generation college student. I'm currently attending Santa Barbara City College on a pre-nursing track in hopes of transferring to a 4-year university to receive a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing.
Wonderful. Thank you, Julissa. Okay, let's see. We do have a few more. Brandon, you're up next. I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I'm Brandon. I'm a freshman currently at Boston University. I'm studying acting. And I've had a lot of experience in leadership in the past through like ASB and club leadership. I've had a lot of job experience in the past as well. I'm hoping to possibly become an actor in the future, especially in film and TV, because I just love to convey like personal and like raw stories and educational stories as well. So.
Wonderful. Can't wait to see you on the big screen. I know we will one day.
Yes.
In that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Calling in all the way from Boston. Okay, OCL, you're up next.
Hello, my name is Ociel. I am currently attending Pomona College. My intended major is English, and I am a queer Mexican American. I am a creative, and my preferred hobbies are writing and working with textiles and fibers. And I think I want to maybe emphasize creative writing in my English degree.
Wonderful. OCL, I have to say, I love your your enthusiasm, and you were smiling, and you were very engaging. Good job. Thank you. Anouk, you're up.
Hi, my name is Anupro Garcia, and I'm a first year at UC Santa Cruz with the intended major of biomolecular engineering. Born as a first generation to two immigrant parents, I've made it my goal in life to become successful, learn to thrive in different environments, and support the ones around me. My dedication and motivation has allowed me to partake in a variety of volunteer and job opportunities. And the most recent and valuable job opportunity was my position as an intern at a local biomedical company that allowed me to apply my strong work ethic, engineering, and leadership skills to prototype their next project. It was a very rewarding experience as I was fortunate to get involved and make an impact while still learning about all the different factors that it takes to make advancements in such a company.
Awesome. Thank you, Anouk. I love how you used an example to highlight some of your characteristics like strong work ethic, determination to succeed through a job example. That was fantastic. Thank you. And then Anna, are you in a position to share? Or do you want to just send it to me via text?
No, I'm good. I can say it.
Oh, okay,
hi,
great.
my name is hi, my name is Anna Basave. I'm currently a freshman attending USC, majoring in mechanical engineering. I'm a first generation student and the eldest of 5 siblings. In the past, I've held roles in clubs and organizations focused on encouraging diverse and Latinx engineers. So that being said, I've continued my role here at USC and involved myself in their electric Formula SIE club, which furthers my passion for both automobiles and renewable energy in hopes of pursuing a job in the energy field.
Wow, incredible. Thank you so much. This is an impressive group, I must say. Did I forget anyone? Did I overlook anyone? Or everyone had a chance to introduce themselves? Okay, great. I think I got everything. That was amazing. I'm impressed. I can tell you thought about what you wanted to share. You thought about the qualities you wanted to highlight in your introduction, which we will now talk about how to do that in a resume. Okay, so I'm going to hand it over to our experts on the call, and they will share some of their top resume tips for you. And just to let everyone know, I will be sending out this deck as a PDF, so you don't have to scribble anything down right now. You'll have it by the end of today. Okay, go for it, Colleen and Monica.
Yeah, Monica, did you want to kick off, or I'll jump in here?
Sure. So just kind of run through some of these feedback tips and everything. I kind of wanted to start on common improvements, and I'm jumping a bit, but these are actually really important as a recruiter, and kind of to give you an inside scoop. We're not spending that much time looking at your resume. So definitely formatting it very clearly, one page, is really important. So it's easy on the eye and able to skim through. So kind of, let's say, like follow formatting throughout, make sure your name and contact info is clear. PDFs are also preferred as well when you're submitting it. And just like I said, making it visually appealing. So when I'm looking at it, I'm saying, okay, oh, cool. They went to this school, they graduated this time, they've done this internship. This is what they did at the internship. Great. Moving on. So just wanted to kind of make that clear as well. And then jumping into the feedback, and that kind of, goes along with the sentence starters, is focusing on those accomplishments and projects. If you've had internships and other jobs in the past, or maybe that was, leadership on a project at school or in a club, or something you did in a group project as well, like that's totally great.
I would say too is as you're kind of thinking through that, is when you're like, oh, let me talk about my experience on my resume, don't just go with the 5 things that you did at that job that are like a basic overview. Really think about what you accomplished in that role and what were some of the key achievements, and then anything that can be driven tied to metrics as well too. So kind of incorporating that into the description too.
Yeah, I like the point of descriptive verbs as well. That's kind of just showing, what you did and how you achieved it, and how, as a recruiter, I'm looking at how is this going to translate into the role that I'm recruiting for in the team. So I think descriptive verbs is a great point there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would say, you all have amazing experience, so you'll have some good pieces to put on your resume, but don't forget to think about academic achievements or other leadership experience. I know some of you are the mission scholar mentors that you can include on there, so don't shy away from including some of those other pieces. You really, as a recruiter, we really want to look for things that demonstrate strong leadership and strong achievement patterns. So as you include like your high school and whatever experience, and you demonstrate that leadership and achievement pattern throughout high school and now continuing into college, shows a good pattern that will make your resume stand out as well.
Sorry.
No, I think what you mentioned, Clean, about like the mentorship, and I heard a lot of you say you're involved in clubs at your school or mentors in other organization, is a really great key point too, because to be so young and have mentorship experience is pretty rare. I would definitely view that as a plus when I'm looking over a resume for internship or full-time job, whatever it is. So highlighting awards, mentorship opportunities is going to really make you stand out.
Yeah, and then we put in some sentence starters here. I know that can always be the tough part too of how to even get started writing this. Using words like I led blank project, I initiated project, I accomplished this by doing this and yielding these results, or proficient in whatever software or process or whatever it may be. You can just use kind of these sentence starters and probably apply it to any piece within your resume and just kind of start building that foundation off of those.
I'd say with sentence structures too, don't be afraid to use the thesaurus, like either go to thesaurus.com or right click on it and click the dictionary and just look for different words. Sometimes it can get a little bit monotonous where it's just like, I did this, or I, using the same word. So try and spend some time finding like the best word. It doesn't have to be a super crazy vocab word either, but just really look for a word that really exemplifies what you did in that role and makes it feels like what you did there and is a strong verb.
Yeah, I think another tip too is when you're thinking about your past experiences, and we might go into this a bit later, but kind of highlighting what you did at your internship. Again, going back to using a foundation and a template and then changing those bullet points to whatever's going to mirror the job that you're applying to. And also making sure it's concise and, readable. So don't feel like you have to add like everything you did there. Try to make it relevant to the job and put maybe like the most important or your biggest accomplishment as like that first bullet point under that volunteer experience or internship or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think we can jump to the next slide.
Okay.
Here we just wanted to highlight kind of two options on resume. We'll let people, either you can get off mute and say what option you think is better, or just drop it in the chat, just based on some of the tips that we just discussed.
I think option A is better just because it's not as cluttered and it's more concise with like prior experience. But I could be wrong. It could be option B too. I don't know.
Very, very brave for you to jump off mute and say that. There are a lot of good content and it is concise in option A. I think in terms of formatting and focusing on kind of key pieces, we probably would go with option B, just in terms of the way that it has more of a clear format throughout as well.
Quick question on that, if you don't mind. I'm curious to see like bullet points, because the reason why I chose option A was because it seemed a little bit less cluttered. So how do you manage, like, how much do you write for like a certain like past like experience that you've had, or what should you exactly highlight instead of just like rambling on everything you did in that job? Like, would you only want to do the highlights of it or your accomplishments, or a combination of both, and how would you balance that?
Yeah, so few ways to think about it is, again, kind of going back to what Monica said is, when you're starting to write like your first copy of your resume, I think focus on my general rules, like 3 or 4 kind of key accomplishments. First, like probably in the first bullet of what was that, kind of adding context of like, what was the organization that you worked for? And then what did you do there? And then maybe, bullet 2 or 3 are like, what were the key project that you drove? What was your biggest accomplishment there? But I'll give a part 2 to that, is when you're actually applying to a role, and say that a role is really focused on project management. Make sure that if you did project management at your internship, that is something that you highlight within that, within your resume and under that as well. So I would start with just kind of like a basic piece of, again, kind of like 3 to 4 things, and really around those accomplishments. And then you can switch it around when you actually apply to a role. I don't know if Monica, anyone else has anything to add?
Yeah, I think I totally get what you're saying, because option A is a bit clearer. I'd probably for option B suggest they take out a few bullet points, but for me, it's just easier to kind of read through it. It says education at the top, there's the line, then I'm like, okay, professional experience. For option A, I'm kind of like looking for what I need on the resume. Like, okay, cool, high school, extracurricular, it's kind of like jumbled there. So for option B, it's just like a bit more cohesive. And so I could read through it there, but I totally agree with you. I'd probably delete a few bullet points for option B just to make it a bit more clear.
So next we're going to do breakout sessions. This is the fun part. So I'm assigning all students to a breakout session with a lit leader, and Kim and Ross, I'm putting you in one breakout session too with a few students. So I'm going to send you over, let's say maybe 10 minutes in the 10 to 15 minutes in the breakout sessions, but this is your chance to ask questions, go through examples. You could screen share, you could drop your Google Doc in the chat and work on it together. So use this sort of like as a study hall for your resume in your breakout sessions, and then we'll come back together and we'll just talk about next steps. And that will be it. Okay. How did it go in your breakout room?
In mine?
Yeah.
Oh, it was good. I looked at a few resumes. Looks like everyone's off to a good start, and having, like we were mentioning, having kind of that base template and then just adjusting it to whatever internship they're looking at. Which, like, I think people are trying to figure out where they kind of want what they want to kind of try out next. So
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. How is your breakout session, Paige?
It's great. It was really fun. It was a really good conversation with some good questions. We talked about kind of how to save space. One of the tips, maybe it'll be relevant to anybody else, is like the address thing at the top, kind of minimizing that. And so you don't want to take up too much real estate up the top of your resume. That could be valuable space used for bullets. And I'm not a recruiter. I know Colleen and Monica are definitely even more of experts on this than me, but I don't think like their address is going to make too much of a difference in if they're getting hired or not. Do you even recommend putting it on their resumes or not anymore? I'm out of the loop. I don't know what the current advice is.
I feel like generally it's just like email and phone number, and then like LinkedIn. Then
yeah, I would say that's fine. Especially we're in a very remote world at the moment. So like we don't, like, sometimes you want to know that like where someone lives just based on like they're going to be where they need to be. But
yeah,
I would say it's not really needed anymore.
Yeah, true. And I just remembered you could make your margins a little bit smaller if you're like have that little bit hanging off at the end to just squeeze it in a bit more into one page.
Yep. Cool. Awesome. Well, I know our breakout session was really productive. We got a lot done, and I'm just collectively very impressed, always amazed and inspired by this group of mission scholars. I know you're juggling a lot right now with starting a new quarter semester, being on campus, but the way that you're showing up and really dedicating time to this shows me that you want this, you're driven, you want to develop professionally so that you can be in a position to launch your career and secure an internship. So we're really grateful for your time. I'm just going to wrap up real quick here. So let me share my screen with next steps, and then we will let you go. Can you see that? No. Let me try this again. Okay, can you see that? Yes. Okay, great. So our next session is going to be in October. And I think the best strategy is that I'm going to send out a doodle probably next week where with a few date options. They'll be mostly like at 5 p.m. on a Tuesday or Thursday or Wednesday, or, one night after school, after work hours. And then you select all the dates that you can attend, and then we'll send out a message. It'll most likely be mid to end of October. So keep your eye out for that, and please fill out your availability because we want as many of you to attend as possible. So your next steps: finalize your resume or work on your next draft with your college coach. We want you to finalize it by 10/15. So that's like 2 weeks. So maybe in your next meeting with your college coach, it could be all about screen sharing, going through your resume and trying to edit it that way. And then we're going to have you send your drafts to us on 10/15. We might have like a folder where you can drop it in, so it's easier for us to review. And then if you are someone that wants additional support and help, all these people on the call, all of us are willing to set up time to just meet with you, jump on the phone call with you, email back and forth to go over and to do some one-on-one editing for your resume. If you really want to bring it to the next level, that's an option. All you have to do is reach out. And then something that we encourage you to do on your college campus is schedule an appointment with your academic counselor. Many of you may have already, but I think it's really important to start building that connection. I know on a big school, you're one of a million, it feels like. So just making those personal connections, but it's just as important on a small school as well, small campus as well. And it gives you a chance to practice your introduction without reading it. Now try to just practice conversationally bringing it up with your academic counselor, or if you want, professor office hours as well. That was our action item for last month, but you can continue that this month too. And then all of you have been assigned a mentee in the class of 2022, so high school seniors. I put on here, they are stressed. It's college application season. You know what that's like. So if you could just reach out to them, shoot them a text just to check in, see how it's going, offer your support. I think that would mean a lot to them too. And then it gets you developing some of those leadership and mentorship skills as well. Questions on next steps? Okay, and then I will be following up with an email with an appendix. So what we didn't cover in our session about cover letters, we really wanted to focus on resume, but many of you, your internships will require cover letters. So we have some tips here, and then also a bunch of links with examples. And that's also something, if you want some more one-on-one guidance and help with cover letters, reach out to us and we'll schedule a like a drop-in office hours with you to help you with that. Okay, any final questions for the team before we head off our separate ways? No? Okay, one more thing. You're gonna die, but can we I wanna take a screenshot of everyone for our Mission Scholars Instagram. Don't look so excited. Okay, so if you could put your video on, that would be great. If not, no worries. And I'm going to screenshot, I'll tell you when. Okay, on the count of 3, everyone smile. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Okay, you'll see that on the Mission Scholars Instagram. Well, thank you all so much for being here, and especially to our lit leaders, Paige, Colleen, and Monica. That was amazing. The way you were able to synthesize all that information into just a powerful tips and tricks workshop was really incredible. So we're very grateful. And for the students, your introductions blew me away. I'm really impressed. So good job. And we'll be in touch to let you know when our next October lit workshop is. But reach out if you have any questions. Don't be shy. We're here to help. Okay. Well, thanks, everyone. Hopefully we get to see you soon. Good luck with midterms.
You.
Good luck. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.